The sun dipped low in the sky, casting a warm glow over the village of Odu. Among the narrow paths and bustling market stalls, whispers followed Adana wherever she went. At 35, her beauty was undeniable. Smooth ebony skin, eyes that sparkled like a dew on morning grass, and a smile that could melt the harshest of hearts. Yet, with all her beauty, no man had looked her way, not for marriage, not even for companionship. Her friends were all married, with children, who played around her feet whenever she visited. The women would tease her playfully, but underneath their laughter was a hint of pity. Her parents, once hopeful, had stopped asking her about suitors. The last one had come 4 years ago, a widower with 3 children, gray in his beard and stopped from years of labor. He had chosen another, younger and less beautiful, but with parents who had means. Since then, silence, only whispers, only pity. Adana kept her pain to herself, bearing it beneath her daily routines. But every evening, as the sun began to set, she would take her calabash and head towards the stream. It was her place of solace, a winding path that led to still waters, hidden by a towering palm trees and lush bushes. There, she would sit on the edge, dip her feet into the cold water, and whisper her prayers to the heavens. Lord, just one man. I do not care if he is poor or broken. I do not care if he is shunned or cast aside by others. Just one to call mine. I am not asking for riches or splendor, just love, just companionship. Her tears will mix with the flowing stream, carrying a sorrow away, so she hoped. Yet, each night she returned home alone. One faithful evening, the sky was heavy with clouds, and a soft drizzle kissed the head. Adana moved faster, clutching a wrapper tightly as she made her way to the stream. The path was muddier than usual, her feet sinking slightly with each step, but she pressed on. The stream was a sanctuary, and she needed it more than ever that evening. As she approached, she heard it, a soft cry, distant, yet sharp enough to pierce through the rustling of leaves and the gentle whisper of the stream. She paused, listening. Again, it came, a baby's cry, fragile and desperate. A heart pounded as she quickened her pace, eyes scanning the banks of the stream. At first, she saw nothing, just the familiar rocks and the swaying branches. But then, near the base of a thick palm tree, she spotted something, a bundle wrapped in a faded cloth, slightly damp from the drizzle. Her breath caught. Adana approached cautiously, her eyes never leaving the bundle. The cry grew louder, more insistent. She knelt, hands trembling as she pulled back the cloth. A baby, small, fragile, with cheeks flushed from the cold and tiny hands curled into fists. Adana gasped, her hands covering her mouth. Who will leave you here? She whispered, voice cracking. The baby wailed louder as if responding to her voice. Without thinking, she scooped the child into her arms, holding it close to her chest. It was then she noticed something. The rain began to fall harder, drenching the earth, but Adana did not move. Tears spilled down Adana's cheeks as she clutched the baby tighter. Oh, Amara, your name is Amarachi, she whispered, rocking the child gently. God has brought you to me. And the rain began to fall harder and harder, drenching the earth, but Adana did not move. She remained by the stream, holding Amarachi close, her heart both heavy and light. For the first time in years, she did not pray for a man. She prayed for the strength to keep this child. She prayed for guidance, for mercy, and for love. But whispers spread quickly in Odu. The walk back to her mother's house felt like a journey through clouds. Adana held the baby close, shielding her from the drizzle that had now grown into a steady rain. Her heart pounded with every step, her mind racing with thoughts she couldn't piece together. Amarachi had fallen asleep almost immediately after Adana cradled her, as if she had been waiting for that embrace her whole life. Her tiny face rested peacefully against Adana's chest, her little fist tucked beneath her chin. Adana moved cautiously, her eyes scanning the village paths. It was late, and most of the villagers had retreated to their homes, but she knew the whisper would begin soon enough. She clutched the baby tighter, the soft warmth of Amarachi's breath steadying her own. When she reached the familiar compound, she hesitated, her heart fluttering with both fear and hope. Her mother, Mama Ugo, was already at the doorway, her hands planted firmly on her hips, eyes sharp with suspicion. Adana, she called, her voice tanned and etched with worry. Where have you been? The rains are heavy, and it's dark. Adana swallowed hard and stepped forward, the baby still nestled securely in her arms. Mama Ugo's eyes widened as she took in the sight before her. What, what is this? She asked, her voice barely a whisper. Adana took a deep breath, holding Amarachi closer. Mama, I found her by the stream. She was abandoned, wrapped in clothes, and crying. Mama Ugo's mouth fell open, her hands now covering her chest. A child at, at the stream? Are you certain? She asked. Yes, Mama. I, I, I couldn't leave her there. Adana's eyes glistened with tears. She was all alone, and her name is Amarachi, Mama. She is very beautiful. Mama Ugo stepped forward cautiously, her gaze fixed on the tiny bundle. Let me see her. Slowly, Adana unfolded the clothes just enough for her mother to glimpse the child's face. Mama Ugo gasped, her hands flying to her face. Adana, she looks just like you. Haven't you noticed it? The word struck her like a drumbeat. She hadn't noticed it at first, not amidst the chaos of the discovery and the rush to bring her home. But now, under the rush to bring her home, but now, under the dim light of the doorway, Adana saw it too. Amarachi's nose, the curve of her cheeks, even the faint arch of her brow. It was like looking into a mirror of her own childhood. Adana's hand trembled slightly as she rocked the baby, her eyes never leaving the child's face. Mama, it's really true. It feels like she's mine, like she belongs to me truly. Mama, she is my child, even though I didn't give birth to her. I will nurture this child and love her like my own. Mama Ugo's expression softened, her eyes misting over. She reached out and gently touched Amarachi's cheek. The baby stirred, but she wasn't awake. Her tiny lips calling into the winding seemed like a smile. Maybe, maybe she does, Mama Ugo whispered, her voice cracking with emotion. The following days were a blur of whispers and stares. Word spread quickly that Adana had returned from the stream with a baby in her arms. The village tongues worked with theories and accusations. Some said she had been pregnant all along and hiding the child to the world to avoid the shame. Others claimed it was a child cursed, that a child born of the stream would bring misfortune. But Adana paid them no mind. She held Amarachi close, bathed her with tender care, and fed her with the little she had. Each night, when the baby would fall asleep in her arms, Adana would watch her with a heart so full of love, felt like it would burst. For the first time in her life, she never prayed for any man. She felt whole and complete. Her prayers had been answered, though not in the way she had expected. Amarachi filled the void that had etched inside her for so long. Her laughter brought light to Amarachi's home. Her tiny hands clutching at her fingers brought joy that words could not describe. Adana would wake up before dawn just to watch her sleep, marvelous and marveling at how something so perfect could be hers. But the villagers did not relent. They would whisper as she passed by, casting glances at Amarachi and then back at Adana with raised brows and knowing smirks. Some were bolder, approaching her at the market, asking with feigned innocence, "Ah, Adana, you didn't tell us you were expecting a daughter." Some will laugh behind her. She had hidden her pregnancy out of shame. Adana will only smile and keep working, her grip on Amarachi tightening. "Let them talk," she will whisper to her daughter. "You are mine, and I am yours. That is all that matters." Despite the rumors, despite the stares, Adana grew stronger. Amarachi's presence changed her, gave her a purpose that stretched beyond herself. She would weave basket faster, sell more at the market, and return home early just to spend more time with her daughter. And as the days turned to weeks, Adana found herself laughing more, smiling without reason, and singing as she walked. To Amarachi, she was not just a blessing, but she was her salvation. Follow this story up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure to share and like and also comment and wait for the part 2 of Amarachi and Adana's story. Thank you very much, and may God bless you as you watch, subscribe, and wait for part 2.